First off, if you're ever overwhelmed by the numerous number of shortcuts that you would never be able to memorize, then changing your stand would do you better. Shortcuts are useful and can make your work go more smoothly. You just need to know which ones will help you and which ones are useless, or at least what your style matches best. And today, I will be presenting to you the top shortcuts that are helpful in PowerPoint. Now, most of the shortcuts will be a compound of combo keystrokes, almost always starting with the Control key, but sometimes you will use the Shift key, and it doesn't matter whether you're using the Control, Shift, Sit combo on the left or the right side of your keyboard. Some other shortcuts will utilize the function keys on the top of your keyboard, and even though usually they only require one tap, they do have a combo you can use, just like the Control and Shift. Other types of keyboards have two functions for the function keys, some of which you need to use the Fn button to trigger the function of the smaller icon that is on the function keys. So, editing shortcuts. Editing shortcuts help you to organize your texts and fix them in less time and more efficiency. So the first one is the copy shortcut. You hold down Ctrl and C to copy what you have highlighted, and it puts it into your clipboard. And then there's the second shortcut, which you use by holding down Ctrl and V to paste, and it inserts the content of the clipboard which you have last added there. Moving to the third shortcut, which you trigger by holding down Ctrl and X to trigger the cut shortcut. It removes the highlighted piece, which is an image or a text, and it adds it into your clipboard. So let me show you how these work. So by selecting or highlighting this piece of text and pressing Ctrl and C, we have added this or copied it into our clipboard. Now, as you can see, I've inserted the last content I've copied into my clipboard by holding down Ctrl and pressing V. Now here, we use the cut shortcut by highlighting this piece of text and pressing Ctrl and X. And then by pasting it again, it's back. Now we have the spelling check shortcut. This shortcut is used to check for spelling mistakes by pressing F7. It opens up a list and suggests other words that fit the criteria. Let me demonstrate this for you. So let's choose this word and let's mess up a few letters at the end. Now we press shortcut button and let's see what happens. Here's a list of words that correct the spelling mistake. You choose the one you're looking for and press on change to replace it. You press on change all in case this function had found more of the same spelling mistake, and it changes all of them into the correct one. Now you will see this notification on your screen, and it just means that the spell check has been completed. And if it doesn't select any words or target them, that just means that there's no spelling mistakes. Now let's move to the next shortcut. We use this shortcut by holding down the button Shift and F7. And we use this to find a synonym with thesaurus for a word that we have highlighted. So let me show you. Likewise, if you go over the word synonym and use the same shortcut, again, you get a list of words that are similar to it. You got substitute, replacement, alternative word. Next up, we have the formatting shortcuts. These shortcuts are easy to understand and remember. Let me demonstrate this to you. So the first one is to bolden the text. You use it by holding down Ctrl and B. Let's select this word, bold, and let's use the function or the shortcut. Likewise goes for the other two. Ctrl and I makes this word italic, and Ctrl and U makes underline have an underline. Keep in mind that these are toggle commands, which means that by pressing the combo keys one time after another, back and forth, you toggle them on and off. Now this shortcut is quite the opposite. It resets everything you did to the text back to the default. It removes formatting. It's an unformatting command, not a toggle one. And you trigger this by pressing Ctrl with spacebar. So let me demonstrate this to you. Let's go over the three words again and let's give them all three formatting shortcuts. The bold, italic, and the underline one, including all the color effects and everything that we've added to it. By using the reset to default one, you remove all formatting effects that you have added to it and you change it all the way back to its default form. Next up, we have the fixing mistake shortcuts. Think of these shortcuts as a weapon that allows you to travel back and forth in time. This has saved me many times, even while creating this presentation I'm showing you. Let me explain how it works. So, holding down the control button then pressing Z will trigger the undo shortcut and it can go back in time with repeated undos. On the other hand, we have the redo shortcut. It is not necessarily the opposite of the undo shortcut. The redo shortcut has multiple powers. It can travel forward on the timeline or repeat what was just last done. Let me show you how it works. So here I have prepared a test sheet to demonstrate to you how the undo and redo shortcuts can help. First, let's select this piece of text and change its color to something else. So I want it to be black. The second step would be to highlight this other text over here, and I will also use the same color. Now I want you to see how the undo shortcut works. So let's press Ctrl and Z. Now do it again. And as you can see, we moved 2 steps back in time. Meanwhile, if you do the same with the redo shortcut, pressing down on Ctrl and Y, and again, you moved 2 steps forward in time. Now, I want to show you another use for the redo shortcut, so let's move to this side. Therefore, let's select this word and I want to change its color. Now, select this text here. And by pressing the redo shortcut combo, you would redo the last step you took on another selected target. This does not only apply like this. As you will see, you can delete something and redo the act with redo. So let's move over this piece of text here and delete a small chunk. Then by using the redo shortcut, you can delete it furthermore. And now it's gone. Now we have the moving around shortcuts. They are shortcuts that navigate our line of text, which means the position of where you're typing next. Let's see how it works. Now here, the home button would help you jump all the way to the front of the line, while the end jumps all the way to the end of the line. So let's position it somewhere in the middle, and by pressing home, you move all the way to the start of the line. Similarly, by pressing end after positioning it somewhere in the middle of this text, it jumps all the way to the end of the line. Now here, as you can see, we can use the home and end button in combo keystrokes. So if you hold down on Control and home, it goes all the way to the top of a text. And if you press Control and end, it goes all the way to the bottom of the text. So we press Control and home, and it goes all the way to the top. Now we press Control and end, and it goes all the way back to the bottom of the text. Now we all know that by pressing the arrows around, we all know that you can move around between characters or even between lines. But what if you can use them in combo keystrokes? As you can see here, pressing Ctrl along with left or right arrows would help you move word by word. While pressing Ctrl with the arrows up and down, you can move between paragraphs, as you can see, up and down. And even after leaving space between them, it will still work the same way. Finally, we have the text selection shortcuts. Now, personally speaking, these are the shortcuts that I have used the most after the editing shortcuts. Even for this video, they can help you select between texts more easily than you would with your mouse if you were stuck between the lines. Take a look at how it works. Now, as you can see, you can select between texts with the keyboard or by mouse. Now, you can do this a little more differently by holding down the Shift button along with various move keys like End or Home or Shift and Arrow. And as you can see, by holding Shift and pressing the left arrow one time after another, I'm selecting one letter after another. And by holding Shift and pressing the right arrow one time after another, I'm undoing them one time after another, and similarly, I can choose from left to right one time after another between letters. Now if I do Shift and up arrow or down arrow, as you can see, I'm selecting more than just one letter. I'm selecting words. Now as you can see, if you hold down on Shift and do Home or End, you're going to either select the line forwards or backwards depending on whether you're choosing to press on Home or End. Finally, if you hold down on Control and press on A, you select the whole text. Now additionally, if you go to a word and double click on it with the mouse, you're going to select the word. And if you go to a line and triple click on it rather than just double click, you're not going to just select one word, you're going to select the whole line down to the end. So this is a summary and a sheet for all the shortcuts, and with that we have come to the end of the video. I hope it was helpful to you.